The views expressed in this podcast are exclusive to its hosts and do not reflect the views of Dragon Wagon Radio, any of its personnel, or quite frankly, anyone with a fully formed brain. Marky, Xtreme, and Skeeter Skyflyer are not role models. They're not even real. They're idiots, and this show should not be listened to by anyone.
It's hardcore. It's uncensored. It's on your mark with Mark E. Xtreme.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to On Your Mark, the only show hosted by a 15-plus year undefeated backyard wrestling champion, Mark E. Xtreme, talking about the wrestling business. So obviously, this show ain't no joke. Ain't that right, Gary the King Baller?
Oh yeah, this is the real one.
We're the real deal. There ain't no joke about us. Look at us.
A couple of champions. Well, I'm not a champion, but you're a champion.
You've come close a couple times.
I've definitely come close. And you know, one day,
Kiss the belt.
It tastes good.
That tastes good. I make sure I clean it every once a week. Today is going to be a great episode. I've got a special guest host here with me, BWE superstar Gary the King Baller. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me. Good to be here with you, the champion, and it's good to be the king. It's good to be the king. The king. It's always good to be the king.
Do your catchphrase. Do you remember?
Hear ye, hear me. It is I, Gary the King Baller, the one true king of the ring.
That's right. I love every time you do it. And not only does that make this a great episode, but today we're going to be talking about a very special topic, Stone Cold at WrestleMania. God dang it, I'm so excited. First of all, I want to thank Dragon Wagon Radio for hosting this show and keeping it uncensored so we can get all the swears out of our body. Like, what are some fucking swear words that you're excited to say today?
Shit.
I'm excited to say cock ass.
Dick butt.
And fuck shit.
Fucking dick butt shit.
The fucking dick butt shit. Now let's talk about Stone Cold at WrestleMania. Now this isn't just about how Stone Cold is going to be at this weekend's WrestleMania with, getting out there and kicking Kevin Owens' ass, which we will get to later in the show. But we're going to discuss all of Stone Cold's WrestleMania appearances. Okay, let's start from the very beginning. Austin wrestled Savio Vega on Monday Night Raw, and I think it was about 1996 or some shit like that, to a double count before defeating him at his first ever WrestleMania appearance at WrestleMania X1 XII. What is it? XI?
12?
I guess so.
XI.
All I know, the only
XII.
XII. The only X I know is DX, baby. Suck it. And then at In Your House, Good Friends, Better Enemies, Austin lost to Vega in a rematch. After that, at In Your House, Beware of the Dog, Austin lost a Caribbean strap match to Vega with the added stipulation that DiBiase was forced to leave the WWF as a result. Okay, now, imagine the pressure Stone Cold must have felt at his first WrestleMania. That's a lot of pressure. The WrestleMania, the grandest stage of them all. I'd go there, obviously, and I'd crush it if they knew what was good for them, they'd give me that opportunity. But, Stone Cold had recently just acquired a new character coming off of, his dumb fucking ringmaster shit. And this was his first WrestleMania as Stone Cold Steve Austin. Gary, do you remember your character you played before you stumbled across this genius gimmick?
Oh, yeah. I was Terrence the Pauper.
And describe that for the people that might not understand that.
Well, I wasn't allowed to wrestle at the time, so I just came to the ring and cleaned people's shoes that were sitting by the apron, and
there wasn't a lot to it.
It was pretty boring. And people didn't like it.
Yeah, and I knew quickly, I was like, there's more to this kid, and I think that he needs a good gimmick, and, there's not enough kings in wrestling, and there's no king like Gary the King Baller. Okay, now, had he not won and put on an awesome performance, we might not be doing this podcast here today. It was his first impression of Stone Cold Steve Austin, his first WrestleMania. Gary the King Baller, he lost in a Caribbean strap match to Savio Vega. You lost in your first ever Caribbean crap match. Now, what do you remember about that special night in Backyard Wrestling Entertainment?
I remember the crap. I crapped my pants because I got a pretty bad concussion, and Yeah, I had a tough time getting it out of my Civic.
Yeah.
There was just so much crap in the seats. I shouldn't have drove home.
Yeah.
I should have drove. Don't drive with a concussion.
Don't drive with concussion.
Don't with the pants
full of shit. Yeah, don't drive with the pants full of shit. Don't drive with a concussion. Definitely don't drink and drive, kids.
Don't ever drink and drive. Don't drink, drive, and drive with the pants full of shit.
Don't drink, drive, shit, concussion.
Yeah.
But to further explain, a Caribbean crap match is basically whenever we're lucky and get some of the people from the Caribbean territory and Backyard Wrestling Entertainment, we have one of our BWE superstars this night. It was Gary the King Baller, and he went out there and the first person to crap their fucking pants in any way that the opponent makes them crap their pants is the loser, and unfortunately he lost that match.
As soon as I took a blow to the head, and
you shit yourself quick.
I thought I had a good strategy of like I took the biggest dump I could beforehand. Metamucil, laxatives, everything I could do to just get it all out of you.
It's a good tactic.
Oh, I started with my day with oatmeal. It's like everything was fiber, everything to just shit.
You can never get all the shit out of you. That's what I've learned.
Yeah, especially with a head wound.
Yeah,
shit just comes.
The human body has hidden shit in different places, and a match like the Caribbean crap match will find that shit and get it out of you.
Oh yeah, scientists say we're 75% crap.
Mm-hmm. That's a fact.
It's a fact.
You know what also is a fact? During the 1997 Royal Rumble match, Austin was originally eliminated by Bret the Hitman Hart, but officials did not see it. He snuck back into the ring and eliminated Hart by throwing him over the ropes, winning the match. This led to the first ever pay-per-view main event of Austin's WWF career at In Your House 13 Final Four, where he competed in a 4 corners elimination match against Hart, The Undertaker, and Vader for the WWF Championship. Austin was eliminated early from the match after injuring his knee. Hart would win the match and the championship. I'm not doing good. Hart would win the match and the championship. Hart lost the championship the next night on Raw to Psycho Sid due to Austin's interference, continuing their feud. And at WrestleMania 13, Hart defeated Austin in a highly acclaimed submission match with Ken Shamrock as a special referee. And during the match, Austin had been cut. He got cut open and was bleeding profusely from his face. But he refused to tap out when Hart locked in his infamous sharpshooter and finally passed out from the blood loss, losing the match. But it doesn't end there, because after the match, Hart continued to hold the sharpshooter on Austin, who despite his wounds refused any assistance back to the locker room, thus turning Hart heel and Austin babyface in a rare double turn. Okay, now from this match, Gary, it produced one of the most iconic images in WWE history. I mean, compared to what we've done in Backyard Wrestling Entertainment, it's fucking child's play, obviously. But I remember the night in BWE that I lost my leg in a match. And I remember the night vividly that Yoko Zubaz shit all over the ring. And then, I went out there and I was so angry at Yoko Zubaz. And I'm like, you stupid fat fuck. And he started throwing the fucking shit at all the people in the audience and the kids. And these are images that will live in infamy for Backyard Wrestling Entertainment forever.
You can still smell it.
Some people say when the wind hits the backyard, right, you can still get a faint scent of Yoko Zubaz's shit, and that's a smell that you'll never forget.
He's got bad diet.
Clearly, he's gonna die. But nonetheless, this was one of the most iconic images in WWE history, and it just makes me come to one conclusion: we need more fucking blood in WWE.
Absolutely, we need more blood in WWE.
I mean, I'm going to go as far to say is we need more blood, gut, shit, and tears.
We need more body fluids, period. If it's wet and it's inside the body, we need it outside the body and on camera.
On camera and on television. And, I think it would make wrestling better. I think it would prepare children better for this fucking world. And I'd say, when we declare today, as a king, you can declare this, that WWE needs more bodily fluids.
Oh, yeah. Get it all out. The blood, the piss, the shit. The cum, the butt juice, all of it.
Mm-hmm. You can find all that more and more at a very special place because this is a perfect segue to our sponsor, Gary the King Baller's Pawn Shop. Ladies and gentlemen, you know, it's Christmas is coming up, and you know, it's a perfect time of year to start getting your Christmas presents. And there is one place that you should go to, and that is Gary the King Baller's Pawn Shop. And funny, we have Gary the King Baller here with us. So Gary the King Baller, what are some things we can find this week at Gary the King Baller's Pawn Shop?
Oh, Gary the King Baller's Pawn Shop, we got everything. We got tables, we got chairs, we got floors, we got doors, we got Kellogg's products, we got Pokemon cards, no rares yet, but we're working on plenty of commons and uncommons. You want a dog cage? I got one of those. I can't get it off my hands, but if you got a dog and you can't keep track of it, put it in the cage. Come to my place. I got it. I'll give you a good deal on it. I'll give you a good deal. I got table mats. They don't match.
Shit.
I got tables. Like I mentioned, we could get some tables in here. I could give you a good deal on a table. It's not as bendy as this shit.
Gary the King Baller's Pawn Shop on Highway 27 and Mitchell Road.
Bring cash, because I am not technically a legal business.
How long have you had that dog cage?
Well,
it's been a couple of years, hasn't it?
You know, I had my dog for 13 years, and I got out.
Died in the cage.
Died in the cage.
There's a bit of remnant still. You haven't fully cleaned the cage, and that might help. I'm not going to tell you how to run your business, but I know how to run a business. Maybe clean the cage completely.
It's, you know, whoever buys it, it's their thing. You know, it's like I give them the hair and shit discount. There's always a hair and shit discount at Gary the King Baller's Pawn Shop.
There you have it. After Bret Hart's controversial departure for WCW in 1997, Austin and Michaels were the top stars in the company. Austin won the 1998 Royal Rumble, lastly eliminating The Rock. The next night on Raw, Austin interrupted Vince McMahon in his presentation of Mike Tyson, who was making a special appearance over the objection of McMahon referring to Tyson as the baddest man on the planet. And meant Mark Xtreme yet. Austin flipped off Tyson, which led to Tyson shoving Austin, much to McMahon's embarrassment, who began to publicly disapprove of the prospect of Austin as his champion. Tyson was later announced as the special enforcer for the main event at Wrestlemania XIV and aligned himself with Michael's stable D-Generation X. You think you can tell me what the fuck? Suck my ass. God dang it, I fucking love DX. And this led to Austin's WWF Championship match against Michaels at WrestleMania XIV, which he won with the help from Iron Mike Tyson, who turned on DX by making the deciding 3 count against Michaels and later hit him with his knockout punch. This was Michaels' last match until 2002, as he had suffered 2 legitimate hernia discs and another completely crushed at the hands of The Undertaker in a casket match at the Royal Rumble. With Michael's absence and Austin winning the WWF Championship, the Austin era was ushered in. Okay, I'm just going to say this. I think this was the most fucking badass time in WWE history. I mean, goddamn Attitude Era, baby. You got Stone Cold out there flipping people off, drinking beers. Was there a better time in the WWE history?
No, I need to bring back flipping off.
Bring back flipping off.
Bring back flipping off. It's like you could do this, you could show this on TV, but this no.
That's why AEW is doing better, is because they let their fucking wrestlers flip them. They let you flip them off.
Freedom of speech.
God dang it!
Yeah, don't censor.
It's like, it's not that hard to put on a good show. Just let your wrestlers flip each other off.
Yeah.
We let our wrestlers flip each other off at Backyard Wrestling Entertainment.
It's encouraged.
And you know, we had the biggest crowds in during COVID. Mike Tyson freaking out there, you know, biting off ears and shit. I got a question for you. Was there anybody better that they could have chosen to be in the mix? And Gary the King Baller, if there was a pop culture figure from, you know, this time period around 1998 that you think would have been perfect to align himself with Marky Xtreme for the big match, who would it be?
Tickle Me Elmo.
What the fuck does that? Why would you pick that? You could have said anybody, like fucking hot ass Pamela Anderson or fucking Lance Bass or some shit.
I mean, Tickle Me Elmo was so hot then. And
but he's fucking a toy.
I just...
So what, am I supposed to fucking walk to the ring holding a toy?
I think it could look cool.
Are you being sarcastic? Or are you fucking...
No, I'm being... If you had like the belt on one side and like the limp Elmo on the other.
Fucking vibrating fucking Tickle Me Elmo?
Yeah.
I mean...
You could...
We all know what fucking kids were doing with that. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying if, hypothetically, if I had a Tickle Me Elmo, if I had one, and it fucking vibrated, you bet your ass I'd have fucking seen how that felt on my dick.
Yeah, if you like, you could like have a move where you put it on your opponent's junk and try to get them hard.
Get them hard and just, that's not bad. Okay. I'm seeing
it could work.
I'm seeing it in a different way now. It's all, okay. I see where you're coming from now. At first I was taking it as an insult, but now I look at it as, it's a weapon. It's a foreign object.
Yeah.
And you go out there and you fucking shove it on your opponent's cock and balls and he gets hard. One, you could be looking at blood loss. He could pass out.
Yeah.
But at the very least, it's going to distract him because all he's going to be thinking about is wanting to fuck that Tickle Me Elmo.
It's a good strategy. Get your opponent hard.
This is why you're one of the top stars, not the top star, but one of the top stars in Backhead Wrestling Entertainment.
I always try to get my opponent hard.
That you do.
I got great chemistry.
That you do. I got hard at St. Valentine's Day Massacre 1999 when Stone Cold Steve Austin faced Vince McMahon in a steel cage match with the WWE Championship opportunity at WrestleMania XV at stake. During the match, Paul freaking White made his debut coming from under the ring. I don't know how he fit his fat ass under there. And attacking Stone Cold Steve Austin. But White's attack propelled Austin into the side of the cage, forcing the cage to give way and dropping Austin to the floor first, making him the victor. Now, the week before WrestleMania, Austin interrupted The Rock, Vince, and Shane McMahon's interview segment by driving his freaking beer truck to the ring and using a hose to spray the trio with beer. Austin defeated The Rock at WrestleMania XV to win his third WWF Championship. Oh, yeah! God dang it, this was the fucking... Has there ever been a more badass moment? Somebody driving to the ring with a truck full of fucking beer. You just had Paul White coming in from WCW and fucking just going out there and fucking spraying them all, covering them in fucking Bud Light or Michelob Ultras or whatever it was. And what?
I heard a rumor that they didn't have, it wasn't beer in the truck, and
what was it?
It was piss. It was a truck full of piss.
Who did you hear that from?
Reddit.
Where'd you read it?
A forum on Reddit about
what
piss.
The fuck is Reddit?
I
didn't read shit.
r/piss.
What are you talking about? r/piss. What the fuck is?
It's a forum talking about all the times there's piss used on TV that you don't know about.
Is that some shit you're into?
I mean, no. I'm not.
Okay.
I'm not.
Hey, Gary.
I'm not into. I'm gonna address the rumors right now. I'm not. I'm not. I've tried stuff. Not that. I'm a guy.
Okay. Don't get hot, bro.
I don't like piss.
No, it's not what I've heard. I mean, I hear you and PP Peter Havilon have a little bit in common, you P-boys over here. Hey, different jokes for different strokes, I mean, whatever you got to do to get your pecker hard. I mean, I'm just saying, but I'll say this. I wasn't there. I didn't taste that liquid sprayed on me.
Could be piss. And if people are into that, it's not that weird. I'm not into it, but it's not that weird.
Okay, well, you seem to be defending it. Jesus Christ.
Well, I'm just defending being open-minded. That if someone wanted to be into piss, that it would be nice to be supported.
I'm not going to piss on you. So don't fucking ask. But, maybe it was full of piss. I wasn't, I'm a very, until I taste it, smell it, feel it, see it with my own extreme eyes, I don't believe it. So I like to take everything with a grain of salt. And if, this is something we should do some research on.
Mm-hmm.
We should crack this code. Was the Stone Cold beer truck at back in 1998, a 9, was it? 1999, was that full of piss? This is one of the great mysteries of wrestling that maybe we need to dive into at On Your Mark. But thank you, Gary. But also work on your kinks because they're freaking me out. After Austin's injury, he wouldn't return to WrestleMania until The Rock defeated Angle for the WWF Championship at No Way Out 2001. Austin was again set to face him at WrestleMania. In the weeks leading up to WrestleMania, animosity grew between Austin and The Rock, stemming from Austin's wife, Deborah, fucking so hot, being assigned to The Rock's manager by Mr. McMahon. The match at WrestleMania X7 was made a no disqualification match, and during the match, McMahon came to the ring, preventing The Rock from pinning Austin on 2 separate occasions and giving Austin a steel chair. Austin hit The Rock several times with a chair before pinning him to win the WWF Championship for the 5th fucking time. After the match, Austin shook hands with Mr. McMahon turning heel for the first time since 1997. There's been many times in history that Stone Cold Steve Austin has said he regrets this decision and wishes that he could go back in time and stun Mr. McMahon right then and there. But you know what? I admire, taking chances. Sometimes I go in my kitchen and I say, fuck, kiss my ass, Mom. Sometimes I think about hugging my dumb ass stepdad Ted, and instead I whip out my fucking pecker and I piss on him.
You pissed on him?
Sometimes I do. When I want him to get away from me, he tries to hug me and it fucking freaks me out. And he's not my dad, so sometimes I get away from him. I fucking...
And sometimes people piss on people they like.
Okay, I shouldn't have brought up piss. 2 of the biggest enemies shook hands in wrestling history. A duo that we never thought we'd see align. Now, Gary the King Baller. What's another duo that we'd never see coming if they came together? Sting and The Undertaker, outside of wrestling, Santa Claus and the Devil. What's a duo that we would it would catch us off guard that we'd never see aligning themselves? God dang
it. Chocolate and spaghetti.
Are you a fucking toddler?
I'm just hungry.
Well, I don't have food for you.
I don't work at Dairy Queen anymore, so I don't get the...
What happened there?
We had the Scream for the Cream match in there, and I got fired.
Well, that fucking sucks. You better figure it out, because I need my ice cream. I need my sugar. My pre-match sugar.
I need the discount on Blizzards again. I need it. I'm trying.
Well, keep trying. Try fucking harder.
I'm trying. I'm applying at all the DQs in the area, but...
Have you?
There's one in another county that I haven't gone to yet.
Then fucking go after the podcast.
I'll go.
And then you can go to OnYourMarkShow.com, because there you can get our podcast exclusive t-shirts. Gary the King Baller, your torso is exposed right now. You're probably a little chilly in here, huh?
Yeah, I got hard nipples because of the cold air.
Oh, well, you always got to make it weird. If you don't want hard nipples, then go to OnYourMarkShow.com, the only place that you can get exclusive shirts not found at our Pro Wrestling Tees store. There you can find face masks, shirts like the Skid Mark shirt or the fucking Toll Ride dumbass shirt. If you want to get that, I don't know why you would get that, but you can get the podcast exclusive shirts, coffee mugs, and so much more, all brought to you by our hosts at Dragon Wagon Radio. So be sure to get those at OnYourMarkShow.com, baby. On the January 28th episode of WWF Monday Night Raw, he defeated Angle to earn a shot at Chris Jericho's undisputed WWF Championship at No Way Out. In the build-up to No Way Out, McMahon had signed the New World Order for Sweet 2 Live, who immediately began a feud with Stone Cold Steve Austin. Austin refused a beer gift from the NWO, and they cost him his match against Jericho later that night. Never refuse a fucking beer from the NWO. I'm just going to say that. Problems were beginning to surface backstage, however, as Austin was unhappy regarding Hulk Hogan's return to the WWF. He was reported as refusing to lose to Hogan in a proposed match at WrestleMania X8, while Hogan reportedly told McMahon the same regarding losing to Austin. In recent years, Austin claimed he didn't want the match as he didn't want to wrestle at a slower pace and that he didn't think we could deliver. Consequently, Austin defeated Scott Hall at WrestleMania. First of all, everyone at On Your Mark would like to say rest in peace, Scott Hall. Thank you for fucking kicking ass and taking names for so many years. Nobody was cooler than fucking Scott Hall. Now, while Hulk Hogan and The Rock was a dream match at WrestleMania, Stone Cold versus Hulk Hogan would have also been a pretty fucking kick-ass dream match, and it's a match that we never got. Some other dream matches that we never got, aside from Hulk Hogan and Stone Cold, you have Stone Cold versus Bill Goldberg, Sting versus The Undertaker,
Marky Xtreme versus the Gobbledygooker.
Why did you do that?
I just think you guys would have such good chemistry.
Oh, do you?
And
I'm
you
going
put
to put a stop. I'm going to put a kibosh to this right now. Ladies and gentlemen, if you go back and you listen to our Gobbledygooker episode, whatever you think you heard in that episode is special effects and, is a prank. And I don't have a fucking thing for Gobbledygooker. I don't have a thing for the Gobbledygooker. GG is what we'll call him.
It's okay if you
shut the fuck up. I don't want to fuck Gobbledygooker. I don't have a raging erection right now. Don't fucking look at it. Just look away. Tell me something else to think about that will help it. 3, 2, 1, take this out, Dragon Wagon. Tell me something to take my boner away.
Grandmas.
Keep going. That's helping. Some grandmas are hot. Something else.
Full of shit and hair that I still need to sell.
Makes me think about fucking Tammy in it. Something else.
A 12-pack of cookies.
Fucking sugar makes me fucking hyper, and when I'm hyper, I want to fuck things. Keep it going. That's something else.
Credit card offers in the mail.
Okay, getting closer.
Getting woken up by a loud truck way too early.
Okay, I guess that works. And she's gone. We'll start recording again in 3, 2, 1. All of those are dream matches, and so many more. And that's just where we can have those matches in our brain, or we're on WWE 2K22. They're not a sponsor, even though it'd be sick if they were. I guess we got to have those dream matches in those places. In February 2003, Austin returned after his infamous walkout in 2002 at No Way Out by defeating Eric Bischoff. Somebody else defeated Eric Bischoff. Stay tuned. Austin would wrestle only one match between then and WrestleMania in another short match against Bischoff on Raw. He entered a feud with The Rock, who returned about the same time as a smug Hollywood sellout heel. The Rock was offended that the WWE fans voted for Austin in a WWE magazine poll to determine the superstar of the decade. He expressed his frustration at having never defeated Austin at WrestleMania and challenged Austin to a match at WrestleMania XIX. Austin was then defeated by The Rock at WrestleMania XIX in Austin's final match. Now, before we get to my thoughts on this, I think this is a perfect opportunity on the segue to go back into the vault, Gary the King Baller, to the time, and you were there that night when I kicked Eric Bischoff's ass at WrestleMania weekend 2019 in New York City.
From the vault.
Can I kick his ass?
No.
I mean, he's 150 years old. No one used to have black hair.
What the fuck do you mean 150 years old,
Are you kidding me?
motherfucker?
You used to have black hair, Mr. Kendall.
Yeah, you used to weigh 145 fucking pounds, 12.
What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do, Mr. Bischoff? I'm not one of your employees.
Fuck you,
motherfucker.
Fuck
This
you.
is a fucking show. We're
No,
having a
it's,
fucking
yeah,
fight
right.
here.
It's supposed to be a goddamn fundraiser, not some fat motherfucker coming out here.
Hey, fuck you. Don't talk about my fucking friends.
No, I talk about you.
Fucking, yeah. Oh, you fucking.
Fuck you, man.
Down! Look at his ass!
Chill out, man. Come on, get these with it. Come on, leave it, let it go. Unhook him. Hey, Eric, unhook him. Eric, unhook him. Eric, unhook him, man. Eric, come on, Eric.
Let him go. Let him go.
Chill out. Hey, man, it's a show. Chill out.
From the vault.
He tapped.
There you have it.
It's on video. You can see it.
We just saw it because we cut to the clip.
Oh, he cut it.
Don't you know how fucking
Roll
entertainment
the
works?
rolled it.
We already rolled it.
Oh,
You were there. Tell us about how much I kicked his ass.
you totally kicked his ass. We had to pull you off him because you were gonna
me-
kill that dumb old man.
You pulled me off of him.
Yeah, we pulled you off of him.
Just by what you see in that clip. Again, special effects. Again, conspiracies to come out and take me.
Deep fake.
It's a deep fake.
It's a deep fake.
It's a deep fake. Okay, now let's backtrack a little bit. Let's put ourselves in this scenario. Now, one day, Marky Xtreme will have to, unfortunately, wrestle his last match. Okay, Austin decided not to announce that it was going to be his last match and decided to, like he says, ride off into the sunset on his own. Now, I don't want to do it that way. You know, for me, it better be the biggest celebration in wrestling or in WrestleMania history. I mean, okay, here's, you know, it's got to be the biggest match in WrestleMania history. You know, whether whoever it's against. You know, ideally against my dad. You know, going back, you know, some Clifford notes here. My mom banged a wrestler in the 80s. She doesn't know who he is. All she knows is he was a wrestler. She was a little drunk on Mickey Lights, and so my dad is still potentially out there. Whether he's Stone Cold, The Rock, or he was Yokozuna or whatever, my dad potentially could still be out there. So ideally for me, the perfect scenario for a last match would be me going out there and kicking my fucking dad's ass because he wasn't there to catch fucking footballs with me. And it's okay. Yeah, it is. It is okay. You know, but if it wasn't my dad, it doesn't matter who I wrestle. It's all, you know, about the spectacle. I want to come out there with the fucking NWO and the Wolfpack and DX walking me to the ring, and I want to have like fireworks, and I want to have fucking streamers, and fucking I want cutout letter E's to fall from the ceiling, and I want fucking I want to walk into the ring and I'm gonna spray paint a fucking dick all over the ring, and then I want to fucking pull my pants down and be like, and then I want to fucking make out with Nia Jax, and we fuck in the middle of the ring, and it's like, everybody, this is better than the Edge sex celebration, and then after I fucking come, and I'm gonna be like, it's time to fuck again. And what I mean by that this time is a fucking kicking ass. And so I have my match, and whether it's Undertaker comes back and has a match with me, rides down out there, and Kid Rock is playing his entrance music, it doesn't matter who it is. For me, it better be a spectacle. Would you agree?
That's all you can ask for. It's a simple ask.
What do you want to do for your last match?
If the piss truck is
Okay, fucking stop.
okay, I'm just gonna say I like piss.
Oh,
I like
okay,
piss.
wow.
I like piss, and that's
Fucking weirdo.
You know, we talk a lot about blood. We talk a lot about blood, how much we'd like to, but just a little bit more piss on TV.
Oh my God, I just took a drink of my fucking drink and all I was thinking about was piss and I feel like I just drank piss. Oh God. And now you're getting a fucking boner. Get that shit under control. Jesus Christ, with kids watching. Oh man. Okay. Since then, try to regain my focus here. I'm picturing as you fucking piss party with Peter Avalon.
I'm okay with it.
Okay, Gary. Since then, Austin has made several WrestleMania appearances, stunning Donald Trump, drinking beers with Hulk Hogan, etc., etc., etc. But this weekend, the glass will shatter once again as Stone Cold is set to go face-to-face with Kevin Owens. Now, the question everybody's asking, will Stone Cold wrestle one last time? You know, it's set to be just a Kevin Owens KO show. But, you know, some people think he might come out there in his gear and the fucking knee braces, and he might put more than just a stunner on Kevin Owens' ass. What do you think's going to happen this Sunday? Or Saturday, I guess.
You know, I've been hearing that cloning is really advanced and that people are cloning their dogs and their cats and stuff and whatnot. And I think if not Stone Cold, then a Stone Cold clone.
That's not a bad idea.
Maybe two Stone Cold clones
do you
fight each other.
Hold that thought. I just got a very genius business idea. Do you have access to or any connections of people who know how to clone people? Because I'm just thinking here, think about this.
Mm-hmm.
If we can somehow get I'm assuming to clone somebody, you got to get their semen.
Mm-hmm. It's a given.
Yokozuna has told me he can get anybody's semen.
The man knows his way around semen.
If we were to get Stone Cold semen, do you think we could clone Stone Cold and have Stone Cold wrestle in Backyard Wrestling Entertainment?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, the backbone of life is cum. Everybody knows that. It's like
call it semen. It's gross when you call it cum.
We're all made of semen. Is like that's the base molecule of everything. It's science. You can Google it. I heard it on Joe Rogan. It's real.
Well,
you know, if we got Stone Cold's cum, you could build a Stone Cold out of.
Stop calling it cum.
Semen.
Just call it semen. It's fucking weird and gross. And now all I picture is you and semen and piss and.
I mean, Yokozuna is the one that gets the cum.
Stop
semen.
Calling cum.
Don't be so prude.
Don't fucking call me prude. I'll fire your ass.
Okay.
You know, but before we do that, I think it's time to say what a great episode this has been. I want to thank Dragon Wagon Radio for hosting this show, where you can check out other shows like the Pro Wrestling Powskis, the House Show, and so much more. Be sure to check out this show on Apple Podcasts, where you can rate and review the show. And a little birdie told me, Gary the King Baller, that we're going to be giving out a free t-shirt here soon for the rating and review. So guys, if you're listening or watching, and you've been listening and or watching on a weekly basis, and you've yet to go over to Apple Podcasts and leave a rating and review, how fucking dare you? Shame on you. Tell them to go leave a rating and
Fuck
review.
you, leave a rating. Leave a rating, stop being a piece of shit, and maybe get a free shirt out of it.
If a fucking kid was watching and he hasn't given a rating or review yet, I want you to imagine that kid and tell him exactly what you would tell him right to his face right now.
It is I, Gary the King Baller, commanding you to go to Apple right now and write a review, a 5-star review, and rue the day. Rue it.
Rue it?
Rue it?
I don't know.
Am I using that right?
Fuck
you for not writing it yet. Write it now, and maybe you will be forgiven.
Maybe.
And maybe you'll get a free shirt out of it. You don't fucking deserve it. You don't deserve it.
You don't deserve it.
You don't deserve it. You should have done it. You should have bought it. Support the show.
Santee Claus over here. Jesus Christ.
But you know what? Giving man.
I'm the most giving man in professional.
It's widely known. You might get a shirt out of it.
You know,
just write the review.
I give out free t-shirts. I give fucking memories to kids when I go out there and I touch them on a nightly basis. And be sure to check out our Patreon at patreon.com/OIM show, where you can get access to these episodes early. You can get access to exclusive t-shirts, replica BWE title belts, and so much more. And one of the greatest perks as part of being a skit mark on our Patreon page, Gary the King Baller, I don't know if you know this, but you get a weekly shout out on our podcast. And the shout outs this week are as follows: Miguel Diaz, Mr. Blix, Rick Conley, Tim Redbeard, Jason K, Melissa Mayette, Bruce Harmeyer, Kevin Hirth, and Crab Stamper. Those are the skid marks that keep the roof over the backyard and the food on the table before I body slam motherfuckers through it. And guys, don't freak out. Don't piss your little panties. If you want to become part of that prestigious list that's more sweeter than the Bullet Club and too cooler than the fucking NWO, well, you can march your happy ass on over right now to patreon.com/OYM show. In closing, even though he spent a short amount of time in Wrestlemania, he's without a doubt left his mark. You know what the same could be said about me, Gary?
You in a box of Twinkies?
You have fucking pissed. You've pissed me the fuck off today, and you're fired until further notice. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching. Thank you, Gary the King Baller, for being the special guest co-host this week. We will see you next week for another episode of On Your Mark. I gotta go take a shit.
Dragon Wagon.